awards to present to those folks who we feel are well deserving of being awarded as outstanding women in our federation. And so first and foremost, I have for you to present Ruperta Patricia Richards Leader, MBE. She was born in St. Kitts, the youngest of 4 children, emigrated to the UK almost 40 years ago to pursue a career in nursing. She's the mother of 2 daughters and 2 grandchildren. She studied nursing, midwifery, specializing in fertility, obstetrics and gynecology, women's health including family planning issues, became a graduate nurse midwife with a master's degree in both nursing and midwifery, and a master's degree in nurse education at South Bank University, London. She obtained a degree in health services distinction at the University of Kent at Canterbury in England, later studied medical anthropology at the master's level at Brunel University in London, studied at doctorate level at University College London. She has lived and worked for 6 years in Kenya, East Africa, senior nursing officer. She was appointed senior manager at the largest special health authority in the UK, Hammersmith and Queen Charlotte's in West London. She was appointed trade union representative for the Royal College of Midwives in the UK for 6 years. She was a supervisor of nurses and midwives, Nursing and Midwifery Council in the UK. Seconded by the Clinical Research Institute UK to the Ministry of Health in Romania as an advisor and researcher. She was appointed head of division and senior lecturer at City University, St. Bartholomew's College of Nursing and Midwifery in London, specializing in community studies. Still appointed as part of the curriculum planning team. Currently, she is the proprietor and CEO of the Grange Healthcare Facility in Otley, St. Kitts, and she's been there since 2000. She is well known in our federation for her caring and warm-hearted service to many senior citizens. She is a professional who has endeared herself not only to the elderly, for whom she is responsible, but to the many relatives of the residents of the Grange for her patient and excellent service. Well informed and always anxious to meet the needs of every single individual entrusted to her care, she is well deserving of the recognition of the Ministry of Women's Affairs.
Miss Leaders Award is 2-part, just like every other awardee here this morning. But for the purpose of this first award, I would like to read the inscription on the plaque. It says, Ministry of Community Development, Gender Affairs and Social Services, awarded to Ruperta Patricia Leader in recognition of your outstanding contribution in the area of gerontology. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. We move on to a lovely lady. Lovely lady, I've known her for years. One Shirley Julius. Yes, and Shirley is a sales and marketing executive by profession with over 25 years experience. Her aim has always been to improve the lives of children and adults alike. Based on her belief that what you make happen for others, God would make happen for you, Shirley has built her life around volunteerism and service. She has been instrumental in organizing the annual Family Day celebration at her church and devotes much of her time and effort to other church activities. She has single-handedly awarded scholarships to students at the Tyrrell Williams Primary School, believing that circumstances should never defeat or define success. She has also been assisting the school in fundraising activities. It is this selflessness and compelling drive to help others which account for her most notable achievement to date, the establishment of Champs for Charity Foundation. That's a non-profit organization which provides financial and other assistance to individuals and groups throughout the communities of St. Kitts and Nevis. Champs for Charity, under the chairmanship of Ms. Julius, is dedicated to implementing and supporting projects which have the capacity to save or significantly improve the lives of others. Direct aid has been provided to individuals requiring life-changing medical assistance. Education and other areas of socio-economic development are also supported through this foundation. National events committees, including the St. Kitts Music Festival, St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival, and Caribbean Premier League, have gained much from Shirley's wealth of experience and passion for professional product and service delivery. She serves specifically in the areas of sponsorship, vending, and accreditation, but lends her expertise wherever it is required. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis has been twice blessed by having Mrs. Shirley Julius as one who lives our own motto, country above self, forever changing the lives of others. She's certainly bold to make changes, and we do appreciate Miss Julius, and so we award her now.
Congratulations, Miss Julius.
Our next awardee, Tiandra Brown. Tiandra Brown was born to Clementine Brown Pinney and the late Derek Maynard just the other day in 1988. She is the last of 7 siblings, 3 brothers and 4 sisters. She attended the Sadler's Primary School and later the Keon High School. Tiandra is not afraid to be different. That's the boldness for change we're looking for. She endeavors to be true to herself. She's not easily influenced. She's a hands-on person. After graduating from Keon High School, she dabbled for a while as an entrepreneur, producing items such as tasty ribs and chicken. How come I've never heard of you? And saltfish and bread. After doing this for a while, she decided to expand her horizon and entered the People Employment Program, PEP, pursuing the course of Women in Construction. Tiandra has been with the PEP for approximately 4 years. The experience gained has been tremendous. During that time, she has learned carpentry, hand and spray painting, as well as mastering the art of drywall construction. She has also been exposed to bricklaying. Her knowledge in construction has mushroomed in 4 short years. She is proud of the work she has done in revealing and rejuvenating the stonework that had been plastered over some years prior, and that was at the original PEP office. And she has also worked at Dr. William Connor Primary School, resizing the wooden windows and constructing cupboards in the classrooms. Tiandra was part of the team that repainted the Bronte Welsh Primary School. The tile project that she is presently working on for the aforementioned school is very dear to her. Tiandra is indeed grateful for the opportunity afforded her to explore and develop her skill in construction. Here we have a woman who is outside of the mold. She's in construction. Let's welcome Tiandra. We do have an award for Miss Beulah Mills. Beulah, are you here? I don't see her. No, she's not here. But I will read the biography nevertheless, and perhaps I might get one of her friends to accept it on her behalf. Miss Beulah Mills was born in St. Kitts and migrated to England in 1961, that's before I was born, to join her parents. It was always her desire to return to the land of her birth to make her contribution, and so she returned in 1999. I was barely born then. Miss Mills is an advocate for women's rights and became very involved in the National Council of Women. In June 2000, she was a member of the National Council of Women who presented an alternative paper on women's issues from a non-governmental point of view at the United Nations. She was also a delegate from St. Kitts who attended several Caribbean Women's Association conferences. She was always looking for opportunities to contribute to nation building. In 2003, when the Scenic Railway Tours began its operation, Miss Mills was employed as a tour director. She was one of the first narrators who provided the information to the patrons of the Scenic Railway Tours as they made their way around our beautiful island. To this day, her narrative is still being used by the Scenic Railway. In 2004, she saw an opportunity to enhance the experience of visitors to our shores and launched her small business, Welcome Tours, where she welcomed tourists who landed at Port Zante. Miss Mills ensured that our visitors were taken on guided tours to historic sites and our lovely beaches. She recently launched her website, www.toursstkittsandnevis.com, where she has received numerous positive reviews from tourists who had experienced her hospitality. As a pioneer in guided tours of our tourism industry and a successful small business owner, we wish to highly recommend Miss Beulah Mills as she receives this 2017 International Women's Day Tourism Sector Award. I'm going to have one of her friends, Miss Jean Thomas, that is correct. I think an award here as well. And Jean will accept this award on behalf of Miss Beulah Mills. Today we are also recognizing a nice good friend of mine, a lovely lady, if I may say so myself, Michelle Delacodre Blake. She's currently the Director of Counseling Services within the Department of Social and Community Development and Gender Affairs. She holds a Master of Science degree in Mental Health Counseling from North Carolina A&T State University. Since working in this field, she has had extensive experience in working with individuals, families, youth in crisis and in transition, and has had experience with young men in prisons, working with them, mind you, while they're in prison, not while they were going to prison, and understanding the life issues that contributed to them being there. Michelle has done extensive work in the area of training and workshop development in areas ranging from stress and anger management in the workplace, team development, conflict resolution techniques, effective communication, developing goals, and problem-solving techniques. She's also heavily involved in the Court Mediation Project, which works to bring persons into an environment where they could mediate their matters and solve their own problems. Michelle also has extensive experience in lecturing, having taught classes in social and abnormal psychology in the adult learning series at the CFB College, and she has lectured in the area of counseling through UWI's distance education program for master's level counseling program. Michelle is happily married to Trevor with 2 children and has a passion for reading, especially psychological thrillers and mystery novels. She also enjoys quietly taking in nature. A lovely lady. Let's welcome Michelle Delacodre Blake. And now we will honor Yvette Slack. We all know Mrs. Slack, very well known and loved here in the Federation. After raising her 7 children during the first 20 years of her marriage, including a hearing-impaired daughter, Yvette Slack opened Slack's Preschool at her home at New Pond site on the 6th of September, 1983. So even before we became independent, yes? 12 children entered on that day. By the following year, the roll had increased to 25 and continued growing. When she closed her school in 2014 July, she had faithfully served the parents of St. Kitts for 32 years, and approximately 850 children had passed through her hands. Mrs. Slack had many dedicated, long-serving workers. The longest-serving was Mary Hanley, the cook helper, who worked for 31 years at her school. Others equally dedicated workers were Yvonne Armagon, that's her daughter, Althea Chambers, Yvonne James, Zena Pereira, Gillian Simmons, Pearl Simmons, and O.B. They were a great asset to the school, and she could never have done without their assistance. And here she's sharing all of that wonderful commendation. The greatest help she's received during her 32 years has been from her husband, Ian. So he's the helper. Nice. Gender roles reversed here. He has supported her physically, mentally, and financially. Good job, Ian. She will always cherish the part that you have played, Ian. Mrs. Slack was forced to close her school when she reached her 70 due to eyesight problems. Her 70 years, her husband's retirement, and financial considerations. Mrs. Slack held 32 Christmas concerts, 32 sports days, and these extracurricular activities produced many self-confident actors and actresses, I can think of a few, who achieved high accolades for talent and calypso, and many, many medals in their high school sports. One student, Antoine Adams, ran in the London Olympics in 2012 and Brazil Olympics in 2016. Observing them graduate and achieve their different professions has given her much joy, and she is grateful to God for giving her the opportunity to touch the lives of so many young people of our federation. She's convinced that when you touch a child, you touch the future. Mrs. Yvette Slack. Miss Antoinette Henry. Miss Henry has represented St. Kitts as a volleyball player from 1991 to the present as an all-around versatile player. She became the captain in 2000 to present. She attained a diploma in coaching volleyball in 2009 when she attended the Semmelweis University Faculty of Sports and Medicine in Budapest, Hungary. In 2013, she attended the FIVB Level 3 Coaches course in the Dominican Republic, and she serves as youth coordinator for the St. Kitts Amateur Volleyball Association. She is presently employed by the Ministry of Sports as a secretary, where she serves with distinction and has over many years. She coordinates the annual summer camp, which is hosted by the Department of Sports, coordinates St. Kitts Amateur Volleyball Saturday youth programs, coordinates the St. Kitts Nevis National Olympic Committee and St. Kitts Amateur Volleyball Association 6 months primary school program with Coach Dan Gurlinu. Thank you. Coach Dan Gurlinu from Romania. She organized Cool Volley Festival and distribution of equipment throughout St. Kitts. And so for all her work and for her volunteerism, we want to recognize Miss Antoinette Henry today as one of our International Women's Day awardees. I'll now call on the Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. This is his award. And this award will be made to Lucretia Sargent. She's affectionately known as Baby J. She was born on the island of Nevis. When her mother Cynthia Sargent migrated to England in the early 60s, she was left in the care of her grandmother, Lillian Hill, at the age of 5 years. Her grandmother later moved to St. Kitts and settled in the Tabernacle area. Lucretia received her early education at the Tabernacle Primary School. In the 70s and 80s, Tabernacle was well known as the home of a number of small mom-and-pop shops. And when Lucretia left school, she went to work for one of the small village shops that was owned by Mr. Robert Francis, who migrated to the United States and later died. When Mr. Francis migrated abroad, Lucretia was left in charge of the shop, and in the 1980s, she took full control of the shop. She has since moved her shop from the original location to her home in another part of the village. In addition to running her own small business, Lucretia cared for her sick uncle who later died and her grandmother who passed away at the age of 102 years old. She's a regular churchgoer and donates to the schools and church in the village whenever she's asked to do so. She's the proud owner of her shop for over 26 years, and today she's being honored for her entrepreneurial spirit. Miss Lucretia Sargent.